Good day. How are you? Are you wondering how to pivot your career and how to transition towards business analysis? Well, before we talk about how to transition, we need to talk about whether or not you should transition. My name is Lachman-Doucet, and I have helped hundreds of professionals transition themselves from where they are today towards a career in business analysis. It is my pleasure to share with you 8 personal and professional competencies that will enable you to be successful in this exciting career choice. Now, before we get going, I'm going to ask that you use this video as an opportunity to do a little bit of a self-evaluation. As I'm speaking about the 8 competencies, please identify those that you've already mastered. Identify those that you're working on and those that you don't have yet and really need to develop. And don't worry if you don't already have those characteristics because, hey, we're all working on skills. This is a great opportunity for you to evaluate whether or not you have the potential, whether or not you have that desire. After we've spent our time talking about those 8 personal and professional competencies, I'm going to talk to you about that one bonus ingredient, that one secret sauce that will ensure your success in this career choice. Stay tuned. As a business analyst, it's important that you have that basic toolkit, that you understand all the tools and techniques that are outlined in the BABOK, that you're familiar with the tools and techniques that are discussed in the PMBOK. Depending upon what particular discipline you choose to focus in, you need to understand the base tools and techniques of that particular specialty. You need to understand your basic office productivity toolkit. You need to understand your word processor, your spreadsheet, your diagramming tools, your presentation tools. You need to be able to leverage these at least to a basic competency, if not even an intermediate competency. Don't worry about being an expert because there's always your favorite search engine. You can go and find that special capability when you need it. In addition to your office toolkit, you need to have your basic communications toolkit. When do you use a cell phone? When do you use personal communications? When is it appropriate to use text messaging? How about Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn and YouTube? How does all of that integrate into the message that you're going to be conveying to your client, to your stakeholders? You also need to have a good foundation in the software packages that are relevant to your particular specialty. You might have requirements management toolkits. You might have financial management toolkits. There might be a particular project management suite. You need to be able to understand what those tools are and how to use them effectively. Do you find that you're an analytical thinker? Are you always looking at situations and wondering, how can I make this better? How does this really work? In addition to being an analytical thinker and working through all of the various steps that you've been taught, you need to be a creative thinker because, hey, if we just follow the steps, there would never be innovation, there would never be new ideas. You need to be thinking a little bit out of the box every now and again. Do you find that you're a systems thinker? Do you recognize how the inputs are collected and processed and then how the outputs are generated? Do you understand how the processes in your organization work? Do you understand how clients feed the demand in an organization to produce new products? Do you understand new product innovation life cycle? Do you understand organizational design? Do you understand how it all fits together to make a system? Not an IT system, but a business system. In addition to that, are you a visual thinker? Do you like drawing things on whiteboards? Do you sketch them on a pad? Do you have to see how things work in order to really truly appreciate what they make sense? Being a visual thinker, being able to take those complex concepts and draw them into simple charts and diagrams so that they can be accepted and understood by your client stakeholders, by the executives, that's a key fundamental skill. You need to be able to translate all of that detail into high-level concepts, into visual concepts, so that they're easily absorbed by your clients. Do you have those basic personal behavioral characteristics that will enable you to be an effective business analyst? Do you have excellent organizational skills? Are you an effective time manager? Because you're going to be getting a lot of requirements, you're going to be getting a lot of requests, you're getting a lot of concepts, you need to be able to document those so that you can bring them back for future information. And you can be able to answer questions about, well, where did this come from and why are we doing this? You need to have an excellent memory, yes, but hey, my memory is not the greatest, so I write everything down. I transcribe a lot of notes, I draw a lot of pictures. I use those tools and techniques to help me remember. I use my calendar, I use my task list to help me make sure I meet my commitments. In addition to that, as a business analyst, you need to have a good general ethical sense about you. You need to be trustworthy because you're going to be spending a lot of time interviewing stakeholders and conducting focus groups. And that requires that people feel comfortable sharing ideas with you, sharing secrets, sharing their innermost thoughts. And if you're not a trustworthy person, you won't be able to encourage them to open up. So here we are, competency number 4, knowledge, and specifically business knowledge, context-sensitive knowledge, because as I said, we already expect that you understand your BABOK toolkit and your PMBOK toolkit. Now, what kind of knowledge do you need to be an effective business analyst? Well, you need to have a good grounding in business knowledge, business methodology. You need to understand finance and marketing and organizational design and motivation and leadership and teamwork. You need to understand all of that. If you haven't taken a business course or maybe a series of business courses, consider subscribing to YouTube or Udemy or enrolling in your local college. In addition, you need to have excellent industry knowledge because industry knowledge is complementing and driving what's going on in your business. You need to understand the general terms and concepts of the world in which your organization is working. You also need to have an excellent understanding of your organization. Who are the clients? What's driving the business? Who are the executives, the directors, the managers, and the workers? How does processes work within the different teams of your organization? How does this all fit together? Most importantly, how are decisions made? Because as a business analyst, you need to be able to influence those decisions. You need to be able to know who to talk to and when, and what information to provide to them in order to effect that decision. In addition to having that foundation in business knowledge, as a business analyst, you need to understand the solution knowledge because chances are you're going to really be at the heart. I know they think project managers control the project managers control the budget and the schedule, but they don't really understand the nuts and bolts of what's going on. That's the business analyst. They understand what the client wants, what the requirements are. They understand how the data works and how the system works and what the cybersecurity requirements are. Business analysis is what brings it all together. So you need to have a deep understanding of your system. You also need to have excellent situational knowledge because the economy, the political situation around us drives what your organization is facing. It'll drive the priorities. It's going to drive their motivations of what they need to do. And if you're not in tune with what's going on in current events, you won't be able to be as effective for your organization. So make sure you take time to stay in touch with what's really going on right now. We're halfway through that list. How are we doing so far? Are you scoring not too bad? Have you identified some things that you need to learn? Well, don't worry. We've all got areas that we can grow upon. Now, you'll remember that at the outset of this video, I asked you to keep track of sort of doing a personal checklist. Do you have what competencies you have and which ones you don't have, and which ones you could develop and which ones you can grow and learn? Well, learning and growing is a fundamental part of being a business analyst because there's always new situations, there's new ideas, there's new stakeholders, there's new tools, there's new technology. As a business analyst, you have to be able to absorb and understand and apply all of that new stuff that's around you. Are you generally interested in learning and curious and inquisitive? That's the fundamental key to making sure that you're going to be successful. You need to be able to learn and apply. Communication skills are another key part of being a business analyst. You're always talking to stakeholders, whether they're executives, middle management, people on the floor, your clients. So you need to be able to adapt your communication style. You need to be able to use executive speak or shop floor speak, depending upon the terminology. So make sure that you can have good vocabulary, that you know how to apply the words, that you know how to project to the back of the room, that you know when to speak softly and delicately. Part of being a good communicator is knowing how to write. In addition to speaking to all of those audiences, you're going to be writing to all of those audiences. You need to be writing executive level briefings. You're going to be writing communiques out to inside the organization. You're going to be writing requirements for the web pages, and you're going to be writing process flows and any sorts of other detailed requirements. You need to understand the language that's appropriate in those documents, and you need to be able to express the concepts. In addition to your ability to speak and to write, perhaps more important is your ability to listen. Because clients and stakeholders are going to be talking to you all the time. And sure, they're going to say my requirement is this and this and this. But in addition to understanding what they say, you have to understand what they imply. Extrapolate from what they actually say. And that's where the experience comes in. That's the nuance. It's being able to understand what's not actually said as a requirement. One final skill related to communication is the ability to paraphrase. I've noticed that when I'm doing an interview with somebody, I can tell if they haven't quite understood my question. So rather than just restating the question, I have to find a different way to phrase the question. I need to flip some terms around or put it in a different context so that it makes it possible for them to understand what I'm really getting at. And likewise, if I don't really understand what they're telling me, well, then I need to ask questions back to them again. So recognize when the communication is happening and when it's not happening. If you're just missing each other, you gotta try again. Make sure that you truly understand what they're saying. Now, closely related to your communication skills are your interaction skills. How are you interacting with different people in the organization? Can you adapt your communication style? Can you adapt your mannerisms? In addition to facilitation and interaction skills, how are your leadership and influencing skills? Because as a business analyst, you need to bring new ideas and new concepts. You need to be a subject matter expert, a subject matter leader. And you're going to be teaching and sharing and mentoring and guiding. And sometimes change can be difficult for people, so you need to be able to understand what they're really feeling and understand their perspective and help them learn and help them grow. Whenever there's change, whenever there's new ideas, there's going to be some people that get upset. So negotiation can be a fairly important skill for business analysts, as can conflict resolution. Tempers will get hot, tempers will get high, and you're going to have some angry personalities that you need to learn how to settle down. Adaptability. Now, throughout the course of this video, I've already spoken about your ability to adapt many times. You have to be able to adapt your tools and techniques. You need to be able to adapt your communication style, adapt your interaction style, adapt your written communications. But be careful, because you don't want to adapt too much. You want to maintain your integrity. Now there you have it. Those are the 8 personal and professional competencies that will enable you to be an effective business analyst. But I did promise you that one additional capability, that one special ingredient that will ensure your success. And that ingredient is, it's you, it's your desire, it's your willingness to learn, and it's your ability to change and to grow. Are you driven? Do you have the interest? Are you passionate? These are the skills that you need in order to ensure your success. So there you have it. Those are the 8 personal and professional competencies that will enable you to be a successful business analyst. And of course, there is that extra special ingredient, that secret sauce, your desire and your passion. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, I wanted you to do a little bit of a checklist. So how did you score? Do you think you can make it? That concludes today's episode. If you liked what you heard, please click that thumbs up icon. If you'd like to hear more from Projerra, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And if you want to be notified every time I release a new video, click the bell. It's been a pleasure speaking with you today. If you have thoughts and ideas, questions on your mind, make sure to leave me a comment in that section below. I'd love to hear from you because it's comments from my viewers that'll drive the content for Projerra, Practical Perspectives in IT Project Management and Business Analysis. Take care. See you soon.